I just want to record a little video blog in my travels here. And on the other side of the planet, okay, in a third world country, in Africa, people know what's going on. Okay, they know our freedoms are being attacked. Okay, they also know what America stands for. All right, I'm going to sound all patriotic here, but please bear with me. The statement of freedom, of an individual's rights and freedom to create a business, to own property, to freedom to travel the globe. This is the message America has had in its foundation to the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is watching that and knows that our freedoms are under attack. All right, this has nothing to do with left or right, liberal, Republican, Democratic, Libertarian. We're all in this together, all right? And if the Republican side, if the conservatives, or if the QAnon or the Trump tells you to wait, if they put you on wait, that all this is going to be handled, you know, it's all going to be exposed, everything's going to be put right, you're being put on wait and you're not taking action. Okay, meanwhile, in Germany, hundreds of thousands of people came out for protest against unlawful lockdowns. All right, not as much in America. We don't hear about that. All right, so the political theater, the whole thing is a big show. It grabs all your attention. It's bombarded in the news at you all the time. It's a big show. It's intentional. Okay, that keeps your attention away from what? Bills and mandates being introduced to become law. New laws that take away your rights. Okay, that's the fundamental. So disregard all the news. What would we keep track of? We'd keep track of mandates or bills being introduced at the federal level or your local state or county level that become laws that take away your rights. All this is based on a declaration of a state of emergency, okay, which bypasses existing rights that we have on the state level and on the federal level. This continued state of emergency that got renewed and renewed and renewed, it takes away the Constitution, your constitutional rights. So, you know, I wasn't raised this way, I wasn't educated this way, I had no need to know all the details about, you know, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and so forth. But now take a look at it. The Bill of Rights, the amendments, the First Amendment, the First Amendment, your freedom of speech, your freedom of religion. Okay, Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, the right for a well-armed militia to protect the country, the homeland. The government to provide for a well-armed militia to protect the homeland or to protect against rogue governments. And down the line, your right to your own home, your right not to be taken from your home, your right against search and seizure, unlawful search and seizure. These things are bypassed. These things are no longer in effect right now. Okay? We don't hear about it in the news because the news is controlled. So disregard the political theater. There's no difference amongst us as free human beings living in our country as well as others in other countries. Come together and monitor the mandates and the bills that are introduced to become laws. That's where the rubber meets the road. And constitutional attorneys, you know, that are taking action, and groups that are filing suits against governors or against their state or the federal level, that's where the fight is at. That's period. That's where it's at. The basics, all right? Fundamental constitutional rights and where they're being infringed upon and what groups are fighting against that. So you would protect your own body, your immune system. You would protect your own family, you know, your food supply if there's a power outage. But while we still have communication systems and the internet, band together, not left or right or anything, drop all that. It's us and our constitutional rights and this country standing for freedom, which sends a message to the rest of the world regarding freedom. Period. That's all that's happening. In a nutshell, distilled, fundamental, the common denominator. Bills and mandates being introduced to become law, taking away your fundamental rights permanently. That's what's happening, all right? And one other thing, the World Economic Forum and its studies coming down in through the UN and filtering into the country, as well as through FEMA because of this declared state of emergency and these emergency acts. So the UN, FEMA, and you have climate change. The Great Reset, as organized by the World Economic Forum, filtering down into the UN policies, United Nations policies. Not to say that all people are bad working for the UN, but at the top of the level, the policies of sustainability, all right, smart cities, 5G smart cities, and sustainability, and climate change, and carbon tax, and the Paris Accord, and the New Green Deal, all these things to move all the people into smart cities and have total digital control, no cash, okay? All 5G total control, including vaccines, and control of the person and control of the body, the human body, and your movements and your finances, period. That's the sustainability climate change control plan. How can they, with a straight face, talk about climate change when massive global weather modification and geoengineering programs have been ongoing for years? Documented, admitted by the governments, hearings have taken place, committees have been convened on the subject. Weather modification, geoengineering, not just spraying the skies with the aerosols, which is all over the place, but the satellite system, the Starlink system, and everything included. It's geoengineering. Check out geoengineeringwatch.org to start with, and there's a few others. It's very simple, and it's very straightforward. So how can they, for instance, the United Nations, with a straight face, talk about, first it was global warming, now they've changed the term to climate change just because it's so erratic and crazy. It's created. It's a created condition. All right, that's what all this is about. All right, the COVID is a sideshow also. We know that they have more lethal pathogens that could be released and are dangerous. The end goal is total control of humans in these cities, period. Do you want it sugar-coated or something? I mean, I don't know how else to put it. The research is there. It isn't just me, it's there, it's laid out for you. While we have a free communication, while we have the internet, share this, please.